It's been an absolute lovely 24 hours. I've been chilling. I've been in all the group chats. I've been on the social media. That's why I haven't done the reaction video till now. We had a lovely live stream. So thank you for tuning in if you was in on that. What a live stream that was. Chelsea 3, PSG 0, and you are talking to world champions now. We're at the table once again. 2-time world champions. What are you saying? Beat the best team in the world, apparently. Slapped up Real Madrid 4-0. We ain't got a chance. We're going to get smoked. We've got our cigars out. We played a game and we just, after the game, cigars. There was lit everywhere. Cigars here, cigars there. We were doing the smoking. We absolutely lit them up. Honestly, lit them up. And I don't want to hear PSG didn't turn up. That's cap. Everything that we done yesterday was spot on. Absolute perfection. Enzo Maresca, tactical masterclass. Absolutely got it right. Every single position on the pitch. PSG could not play how they wanted to play. We had people and pundits beforehand saying we got no chance. Look how they're playing. These are the Champions League winners. These are the best team in the world. Beat Real Madrid 4-0, even though I was saying Real Madrid was shit. They beat Bayern Munich. Yes, but Bayern Munich were the better team up until their legs went. They beat Inter Milan 5-0, but Inter Milan didn't show up in that final. Why is nobody saying that? Why is nobody taking their credit away from PSG? There's no way you can tell me that PSG didn't turn up. They had opportunities. Vitinha shot, great save, Rob Sanchez. Dembele shot, great save, Rob Sanchez. Doué messing it up in the first, 10 minutes? They could have been 1-0 up. They played. They played their game. There was moments in that match where they were dominating us and it was looking like they could possibly score, but we broke them down. Every step of the way, we soaked up any single little bit of pressure. We soaked it up. We tracked their runners. We prevented them from overlapping. Hakimi got in a couple of times. Nuno Mendes, I don't think he done it once. Don't think he done it once. And we exploited him all game. As I say, Enzo Maresca. Listen, I've been critical in parts of this season. I was praising him through the first half of the season, and I still believe, rightly so, I was critical when I needed to be critical. Even towards the end of the season, I'm thinking, boy, if you don't get this done, if you don't fulfill this, I'm going to be fuming. But he got it done, and I gave him his credit. But this, I'm not even going to lie to you, I did not expect to win the Club World Cup. And I think we've had a fantastic tournament all the way through. Bar the Flamengo game, we've played good football. Tactics have been spot on. I think he's been fair with his game time. It's been a brilliant tournament for us. Obviously, we've had a favourable route to the final. But that's just the way that it fell. We can't help that. You got to beat what's in front of you. And we have. And when it mattered, when we had to play the best team, the most informed team in the world, where they made us underdogs, like they did against Manchester City, like they did against Bayern Munich, we've showed up again and won a final. And not only did we win it, we absolutely wiped the floor of PSG. They were shell-shocked, 3-0 in the first half. Nobody, absolutely nobody out there expected that. Nobody. And even the lineup, Reece James in midfield. Few questions there. I'm not even going to lie, even myself, I'm thinking, wow, Reece James in midfield. What are we going to do against Vitinha, Neves and Fabian Ruiz? What's he going to do? How's he going to fit in here? When Vitinha gets going, it's going to be peak. But he showed up, he delivered, and I know, and I tweeted, I get why Maresca's done it because he trusts him and he gets a job out of him. And it's exactly what he got out of him yesterday. Filling in whenever one of the centre backs got dragged out, he'd fill in, following them runners. There was a few occasions where I said, he's run through, but the majority of the time we were tracking our runners, following our men, and preventing what they were trying to do. The only thing they really had on was the ball over the top when they got to the edge of our box, and even then, we managed to prevent it or make them mess up the pass. We forced them into that position. We had a solid performance from minute one. If we just go through the lineups now, honestly, not a single player on this pitch played shit. Not a single player. Sanchez in goal, the best performance of his career. Best performance in a Chelsea shirt. Absolutely, I can't say flawless because he did mess it up at the end and he nearly cost us. He had his little brain fart at 87th minute, whatever it was. We're 3-0 up. I don't even care. At that point, I'm laughing that he's doing that. But he was sensational. And we've been very critical, not just me, all Chelsea fans have been very critical of this guy throughout the season for the mistakes that he makes. His stats are very good. But when you watch the game of football and you see what he does every single game, you criticise it because you know he has got a brain fart in him. A little bozo moment, a little dopey moment where he loses concentration. He was fantastic. And if it wasn't for Cole Palmer, he would have been my man of the match. His distribution was sensational. He played a massive role in that first goal, playing the ball long to Gusto. Nuno Mendes doesn't deal with it properly. Gusto runs onto the end of it. He's one-on-one with Donnarumma. I mean, at that point, even I'm thinking nosebleed. But I'm saying strike it. He doesn't. He cuts in, strikes it. Beraldo gets a block on it. Falls perfectly for him again. He passes it to the edge of the box to Cole Palmer, who just does his magic. Passes it into the goal. This little passing shot that he's doing, he's just taking he's done it 3 times now. He's done it against Palmeiras and twice in this game. Keepers ain't expecting it, and it's accurate as well. Right in the bottom bins, passed it in, goal, 1-0. His distribution all game, honestly, Sanchez was fantastic. And then we talk about his shot stopping. All of these saves were, honestly, he pulled out some worldies in there. The Vitinha shot, I didn't even know that he saved it. I thought he shot wide. Fantastic save. Absolutely fantastic save. And then we see the Dembele save. A reactionary shot, a reactionary save. Incredible. That was going in. There was the João Neves header. That was going in. And then there's the dangerous cross. I think it was from Doué. It might have even been Dembele, to be fair. And he just punches it when he's supposed. Everything that he done yesterday was absolutely superb. Best performance by a mile. And the thing is, if he maintains that standard every week, not even every week, majority of the time, and keeps his other standard the rest, I think Chelsea fans will keep him. Because that performance from him was just, honestly, you couldn't have picked a better moment for you to put in that performance. Absolutely fantastic. And then we've got Malo Gusto on right back. Boy, another one I'm thinking, Malo Gusto up against Nuno Mendes, up against Kvaratskhelia. He's going to struggle. That boy put in the shift of his life. Again, another performer where I think that's the best I've seen him play. Absolutely ridiculous performance. He penned Nuno Mendes up that pitch for the majority of that game and stopped everything that Nuno Mendes have come in his way. What a performance. Big part of the goal. And it was non-stop. An outlet on that right-hand side. They didn't know how to deal with Gusto. And do you know what? Fair play to Maresca, because that's another one of his tactics. We exploited that right hand side or their left back. They did not know what to do with Gusto so high up the pitch. We very rarely went down that left hand side on Pedro Neto's side. Pedro Neto obviously getting frustrated. I was getting a little bit annoyed with his body language, but you know what? After reviewing it, I realised what he was doing. Tracking back constantly, Pedro Neto. Chasing Hakimi up and down, doing a lot of defensive work. He was blowing. So you've got to respect his efforts. When it comes to the other side of the things, yesterday it was more of a defensive performance from Pedro Neto rather than anything else. He didn't really do much attacking. And when he did, I do feel like he kind of messed it up. But you've got to respect what he done defensively because it all ties in with everything that we were trying to do. Everyone on that pitch was given a task and they executed it perfectly. Levi Colwell, Chalobah, absolutely solid. Absolutely solid. If one stepped out, one covered. If one stepped out and the other one saw a runner, covered it. Reece James stepped in. Cucurella, what can we say? He's the best left back in the world. You can't name me. They were telling me Nuno Mendes was the best left back in the world. They were telling me Nuno Mendes was the best left back in the world. Cucurella's added Doué to his penitentiary. Have you seen the list of names? That list is ridiculous. Salah, Dembele, Doué. There's more. I'd have to remember them. I can't remember them. I'd have to get that. There's a little photo of them all in there. And he's just locked them up. The guy is so consistent for Chelsea. And I love the shithousery that he does as well. Winding up Neves. Gets him a red card. Perfect moment. Just when they're starting to, give it a little bit more, really go for it. They didn't have much time left anyway, but they'd have had to have produced a miracle to get 3 goals in that amount of time. But we didn't know how much extra time they were going to add on. I'm saying 10 minutes. They only ended up putting on 5. I thought with the drinks breaks, the subs, the injuries that we were having, I thought it was going to be a lot longer than that. But he gets him sent off. They go down to 10 men. Now, that didn't affect them for the Bayern game. They still managed to pull it out of the bag with 9 men. So you know what they're capable of. But we absolutely nullified their whole attack. Kvaratskhelia, nothing. Nothing all game. Well, he had 1 shot. Was it 1 shot? I think Sanchez saved it. Or caught it. Doué was shocking. I'm not going to lie. Towards the end of the game, he picked it up a little bit and he was running through our players a bit. But other than that, nothing. Nothing. Like, to be fair, he could have made them go 1-0 up if he had a shot rather than passed it across goal. But he tried to do the FIFA sweat and messed it up. Cucurella in the right place. Clears it. Anticipated it. It could have been a different story if maybe that had gone in. That would have been 1-0. And then, you might have seen heads drop. It changes the game. That moment in that game could have been the game changer. But he messed it up. And he didn't have a good game. Let's just be honest. And that's why he got substituted off. Dembele, quiet. Very quiet. This is a Ballon d'Or front runner that we're talking about here. Nothing all game. Our defense was absolutely solid. Down to like minute 1 to minute 95. Solid. They very rarely done anything. And obviously Sanchez in the sticks as well with the performance of his life. It's just, perfect recipe for a final. You couldn't ask for more. Then you got Caicedo and Reece James in the middle, just pivoting. We spent a lot of the game in our half. We're not used to that. We're not used to sitting back and defending constantly. We're normally in the other opposition's half. That's how we like to play. Get a little bit of control in the game, keep possession, pass it around the back, stay on the halfway line, keep us high up the pitch. So we knew this was going to be different and we'd have to hit them on the break. But we just had Caicedo, Reece James, pivot. following their man, putting in tackles, interceptions, breaking up the play, and getting the ball moving. Reece James filling in centre back, doing his defensive duties. Solid performance. And then you've got Enzo Fernandez. Honestly, this player, Enzo Maresca, has changed this player into the player that we thought we were buying. That's he's needed time to settle in England. He's even come out and said it after. I think he's come out today and said, look, in my first season, I didn't feel well. I didn't feel right. I didn't feel up to scratch with the league. I didn't feel up to scratch with the intensity. I had a lot of shit going on. Obviously, he had the birth of his son. He's got shit going on with his missus. He said it all. He said, I was struggling. He said, but I got trainers in. I got my own trainers in. And now I feel up to scratch. And now I'm adding goals and assists to my game. That's a hard worker there. This guy's been with us when, times were real tough. Let's be honest. It's getting better. And he's been there and he's now Conference League winner with us and a world champion with us. And he's stuck at it because he's had abuse. I've abused him. It was only the start of last year I was sitting there saying, what does he do for the club? What does he actually do? And he shut me up completely, and I'm happy to admit that. I'm happy to admit that Enzo Fernandez has absolutely proved me wrong. I've always said he's a good player, but I wasn't really impressed with how he really impacted the team. But this season, he's been one of my favourite players. Like that, the difference that he's made this season has been exceptional. I can't fault him. I thought he put in a brilliant performance yesterday as well. I'm not going to say he showed Vitinha how to do it, but when you're comparing the two, you got to give Enzo Fernandez his props. A lot of rival fans, for the banter and because of the price tag, will just say, nah, he's shit, he's dead. He's got better stats than Vitinha throughout the whole Club World Cup. Don't get me wrong, Vitinha played well, I thought. But again, couldn't really do anything. He looks pretty on the ball. Silky little player with his little dribbling, with his hair bouncing, He looks good on the ball. Yes, he can do some fantastic stuff with that football. Let's be honest, he can. He's a fucking unreal player. But I don't necessarily think he was able to do anything. And I think that's because we cut the lines. We shut the lines. We made it difficult. Our setup was just perfect. Then we have Pedro Neto, like I said, tracking up and down that left-hand side, trying to, stop Hakimi from having an impact on the game. Now, I do think he struggled to not fully. Like, out of all the players, I think he struggled the most. But I think that's because he's playing a role that he's not used to doing, defending constantly. I could see he was blowing after the first 30 minutes, hands on knees. He was getting frustrated that the ball weren't getting played out to him. And when it did get played out to him, he messed up the cross. That's probably the only thing that we can sit here and say. And then other than that, you got to think about his defensive duties that he was doing. And I thought he'd done a good job. There was a few occasions where, Hakimi got free. But then you got to think about at that moment in time who he was really marking. They started to cause a little bit of confusion on his side. But regardless, it didn't really affect us. Hakimi got in a couple of times and we got the ball down that right-hand side. Neto had a strong game. Then you got Cole Palmer. Honestly, this guy, best £40 million this club has ever spent. Ever. If you want to talk about players turning up, this kid just does it. That's a goal in the what? A goal in the Euros finals, a goal in the Super Cup final that he played for City, a goal in the Community Shield when he played for City, two goals in this Club World Cup, an assist in the Conference League. You can't tell me that this guy don't turn up in the big moments because he's doing it. And up against the Ballon d'Or frontrunner in Dembele, my guy's shining, getting man of the match awards, getting player of the tournament. What he did was sensational, honestly. First goal, cheeky. Absolutely cheeky. Took the piss out of Donnarumma. Second goal, bro, the little feint to pretend to pass it to Pedro sends Vitinha and Berardo the other way. just opens his body up. Same goal. Passes it into the net. Donnarumma taking the piss out of again. 2-0. 2-0. And then he sets up the third goal for João Pedro. He done his defensive duties. That pass for Pedro, I'm screaming, he's in. He's in. If you can get the ball in, he's in. He got the ball in. He got the ball through. And the finish from Pedro, we've got a player on our hands. Now I'm gassed. Now I'm gassed about this signing. Because what a start to the Chelsea campaign, his Chelsea campaign, or his career, whatever you want to call it, he has had. That's a superb finish. Dinking the goalkeeper from that far out. Again, Donnarumma 3 times taken the piss out of, and he wants to give it after the game. Apparently, we're linked to him. I saw Maresca having a little talk with him after. Could have been calming him down. I don't know. Could have been saying, "You could be here, lad. You know, you could be winning trophies with us." Who knows? João Pedro, fantastic player. Fantastic player. So good on the ball. His movement's great. You know, he's got a bit of skill and flair about him. He's fast. And his finishing's just, man, it makes you feel like we've been missing stuff. Like, you know, you can see that we've been missing this. And, you know, like I said earlier, I feel like rightly so, I was critical of Maresca at certain points in the season. But seeing João Pedro there made me think, you know what, like he's had to stick with Nicholas Jackson for this period of time. And, you know, we've been struggling. Now I kind of like, you know, I'm starting to feel like maybe he hasn't been given the resources, or he didn't have the resources to really play how he wanted to play, which makes me look like an idiot. But I'm okay with being an idiot. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm okay with admitting that I'm wrong, because all I care about is this club. But when you're seeing João Pedro, and even Liam Delap when he came on the pitch, his first contribution was to run past a couple of players and whip one in top corner. Great save from Donnarumma. I'm starting to think, Nicholas Jackson, brother, you're not. Your G&A is good. Your stats are good. You've done okay, but you're not this. Do you know what I'm saying? We've put a valuation of him of £100 million. Now, to me, that screams that we value him, and that we don't necessarily want to get rid of him, and that we want to utilise him and use him. But if I'm Nicholas Jackson, I'm thinking, boy, I've got my work cut out for me now. Delap coming off the bench over me, and he's putting in shifts like that. Because even Delap come on and put on a shift. Came on, started doing the argy-bargy, you know, winding up the players, pushing was it Beraldo? No, it was Nunes, I think. Pushing Nunes, getting Donnarumma wound up. Getting them yellow cards. Was it Ramos who gave him a tackle towards the end? We got in their heads when they knew that it weren't possible. When Chelsea were cruising at that point, we knew. When we knew that we'd won the game and we started to take the piss out of them, they were rattled. And that's why we had the response out of them at the end of the game. Dewsbury Hall, come on. Good shift. You always know what you're going to get out of him. He's quite, you know, reliable in that sense that you come on and he'll see the game out. It adds a little bit of legs into that midfield. You can tidy it up a little bit when people are tired. Andre Santos, I thought he came on and I thought he was very good. Seriously, I'm looking at that player thinking, okay, you know, we missed Lavia for this game and everybody was concerned about that because we needed a press-resistant centre mid. I'm watching Andre Santos come on as a sub and I'm starting to think, Lavia, if you're not going to be fit, there's a guy here that can come on. Listen, so impressed with that performance yesterday. That makes us world champions for the next 4 years. We're going to be wearing that badge for 4 years. Your team ain't, let's be real. And you know who you are. Everybody that chats shit about this club, everybody that chats shit saying that we've got no chance against PSG. Look at the scoreline down there. Look at the scoreline down there. Can you tell me your club could do that? Heritage is what I call it. Heritage. But yeah, couldn't get the reaction out last night. As soon as the game was done, I had to hit the group chats, hit social media. By the time I was done, it was too late. I had work in the morning, so I thought, let me do it today. But for everybody that tuned into the live stream yesterday, I very much appreciate it. Um, if you're watching this, leave a like on the video and hit the subscribe button. I'm trying to hit 150 before the season starts. We're getting closer, so I only need about 3 or 4. So if you're watching this, be one of those new subscribers. I very much appreciate it. Let me know what you think in the comments as well. What do you think of our performance yesterday? For me, since Enzo Maresca's come to this club, that's the best performance that we've put out. That's the best performance that I've seen in a few years. I'm not going to lie. At this club, I thought it was absolutely flawless, and I was so happy, so buzzing. If you watch me on my live stream, and nobody was expecting it, even I weren't expecting it. I didn't expect to get battered. That was the one thing I was saying to everybody. Everybody's saying you're going to get smoked. And I'm saying, no, we are not. We are not Real Madrid. We are not going to play like that. Everybody was looking at Real Madrid thinking, wow, they're playing amazing. There were 4 mistakes for their goals, like shocking mistakes. So we ain't going to make them mistakes. We're not going to play like that. I was a little bit worried about the pressing and how our defence would cope with that press. We just soaked it up. We just passed it around the back line. And I think Rob Sanchez, honestly, perfect time to put in a game like that. Perfect. Went long every single time that he needed to. He made the right decisions. Everyone's talking about their little kickoff routine. What the fuck was that? Fuck that. Didn't do nothing. Chelsea Football Club, back on top of the world. And I think everybody's looking at us thinking, okay, something's working. Even I am. I think other fans at Chelsea need to start thinking the same thing because you know what? We've questioned it. I've been one of these people that have questioned it. I've questioned signings. I've questioned certain games. I've questioned certain management, you know? So the results are there. What we want is trophies. We're getting trophies. What we wanted was top 4. We got top 4. It's making it difficult to question what is going on at the club. Do you know what I'm saying? So although there is certain things, I mean, I've seen us linked with Ganacho. I'll moan about that. I'm going to moan about that. Why are we linked with Ganacho? I'm going to moan about that. But I tell you what, results like yesterday, performances like yesterday, makes you think, you know what, maybe we should put a little bit more trust in what they're doing. They've signed Bino Gittins. It wasn't a transfer that wowed me. They signed João Pedro. It wasn't a transfer that wowed me. But now I'm wowed. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, when do you step back and go, okay, look, you know what, actually, I kind of need to trust this a little bit more. And that's the camp that I'm in at now. Okay, maybe I need to trust this a little bit more. And I'm happy to admit that. I don't care. It's not about me. It's about Chelsea Football Club. So I'm happy to sit there and go, you know what? I've been critical of the club. I've been critical about how much players we're signing, who we're signing, our performances, high praise last season at the first start of the season. Then it shifted towards Christmas. Now I'm on cloud 9. I can't lie. I feel like, we're back. I feel like it's going somewhere. And that's what we needed, some confidence. Okay, there might be some super fans out there that wanted to, have hopium all the way through. Well done for you. Get your medal. But I tell you one thing, I'm not going to stop being critical when I need to be critical. It doesn't mean I hate the club or like I'm negative or whatever. I'm going to continue to do reviews by the game. That's how I'm going to do it. But I could tell you now, I've got a lot more faith in what is going on at the club, and it's very reassuring because, like I said, I did not expect to win this Club World Cup at all, at all. If anything, I thought this was a hindrance to what we're trying to do next season because I didn't think we was going to win it. and I wanted to get out of it quite quickly so we could start preparing for the season next season. But we've gone all the way and we've won it. And the fact that we've actually played well all the way throughout, other than Flamengo, I got no complaints. So you know what? Shout out Clear Lake, shout out Blueco, shout out Todd Bowley, shout out Enzo Maresca, shout out the players because they deserve it, you know. And you got to give credit where credit is due. And Rob Sanchez, I'm going to give you the most credit because I thought he was absolutely fantastic yesterday. Just keep that level up, and nobody will complain. Nobody will be asking for another goalkeeper if you can maintain that. That's what we ask for. Fantastic. But listen, I'm going to wrap this up. I've been talking for 30 minutes. Chelsea are world champions again, back on the big stage. That's another trophy in the cabinet. The first club in world football to lift that trophy and have our name on that cup. Now, when this cup becomes bigger than the Champions League, I don't want to hear that, oh, nobody cared about it then, because every single club in this competition was trying to win it. We pocketed over 100 million in 3 weeks, and the world was looking at us, let's be honest. I wonder how many American fans we've just taken from that. By the way, that halftime show thing, cut that. That was, yeah, that was strange, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I like going back and seeing the analysis. None of that shows this is not the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, Club World Cup champions, 2025. We can now look forward to having a little bit of a rest. Let's see what that does for our transfer targets. We'll have that gold badge on our shirts now for 4 years. World champions for 4 years. Let's see what it does for our front of shirt sponsor. I'd imagine they're queuing up now. I heard not Puma. What am I talking about? Puma. I heard Jordan wanted to do a collaboration with us on our kits now. It's looking good, bro. It's looking good. Anyway, I'm going to catch you on the next one. I'll probably do a transfer update, weekly update, maybe tomorrow. But for now, like the video, hit the subscribe button, up the CHELS, World Champions 2025, the start of many.